This is Jaden's Videos, and today, Spirit Halloween has made their first animatronic drop of the 2025 Halloween season, and we are going to talk about it. Now, there are only 5 animatronics in this release. One of them is a returning thing. So, that's a little disappointing because over the past few years we've been getting a lot at one time. In fact, we saw the entire lineup in most cases the past few years during one drop in June. It is now July and we only have 5. So that's a little disappointing. I hope they start cranking out more soon. But regardless, I would be lying if I were to say that seeing a release from Spirit Halloween does not get me excited. Of course it does. I will say, this video, I am going to say my honest opinions on all of these things. I mean, I'm obviously very excited that Spirit dropped something because just Spirit dropping something means that we are getting closer to Halloween. Of course that's going to make me excited. It's my favorite time of year. Seeing any Halloween release gives me that endorphin release because Halloween's coming. What can I say? And of course I love Spirit. I mean, I think in the past few years, I'm going to say this, and I think it's on most of our minds. Most of us think it. Home Depot has been dropping the best Halloween lineups, but I think Spirit is always still going to be near the top, and I'm still always going to love Spirit. I mean, the past few years of Spirit, I think, have been great. This initial drop, I do not think is the best. It's not great, but I do want to keep an optimistic tone and say, we still have so much more to see. I will say this drop is a mixed bag. It's not all bad, of course. I think some people are being very hyperbolic about it, where they're like, oh, this is terrible. It's not. There's a few things that really aren't that great, and then there's a few things that are good. It's a mixed bag, which is perfectly fine because you don't want everything to be good or you have no money. So regardless, I'm going to give my thoughts on all of these. I'm going to start with the worst ones first, then I'm going to get to the best. I would say probably the biggest disappointment about this drop is that there's only a couple of things. That is a little disappointing. But like I said, full honest opinions here. From what I've seen so far, in comparison here, I can't really fully judge yet, and I'm not going to fully judge yet, but obviously I think Home Depot is winning as far as the lineup this year, which I'm happy about because I love Home Depot's lineups. I want them to keep delivering because they're doing a great job. But I really would like Spirit to step it up just a little bit and be on the same level as Home Depot because Home Depot is outshowing them a bit. But regardless, I'm excited for this year at Spirit, and I'm just excited for the Halloween season in general. Let's get into these, starting with the worst one. And this one's, it's absolutely horrible. It's so bad. I remember when I saw it, I bust out laughing when I heard the audio and I saw what it did. This is Two-Faced Teddy. Now, these names have been around for a little bit now, and obviously everyone thought this was going to be a Two-Faced teddy bear. I wasn't super excited because we've seen so many like toy teddy bear type things in the past. I was like, oh, okay, that might be cool. But it's not even a teddy bear. It's so much worse. It's this stupid generic looking clown. I like clowns when done right. I do think we are getting an overabundance of them and they need to chill. This clown just is not good. It's really horrible. It's so generic looking. The animation is so stupid. The stupid head turning, like, it's just so lame and boring. And the audio is absolute garbage. Like, this thing, it's just lame. It's $130. I don't even think it's worth that. With this one animation, it just stands there. $100 maybe. I do not like this thing at all. I think more than likely, I hope this will probably be the lowest point of the lineup this year because this is bad. This is bad. I really hope it's going to be the worst one because if there's something worse than that, God help us because that thing is bad. The next one, which is another one I think is pretty awful, is Night Owl. Now, when the names were out, this was referred to as Owl Beast, and I thought that sounds cool. A big owl monster. This could potentially be really awesome. It's not. I'm so disappointed with this one. I don't know what they were thinking here. I don't know what the hell this thing is. It looks really bad. It looks like one of those Crazy Bones skeletons. With red light up eyes and the wings look horrible. This thing just looks terrible. It does. It is big. I will give it that. It is big. And I think seeing this thing in person, we will go, that's kind of cool. just because of the size. But when it comes to appearance of this thing, it is not very good. I am not crazy about this thing at all. I don't know, guys. And even worse, it is $250 for this. But we will now get into positives. We will now get into positive territory. So it was a mixed bag. Only half of these reviews are not good. Because actually, I'm just going to say this now, the fifth review, I'm just going to say it now, just to get it out of the way. We have Electrified Corpse returning for $150. I believe that's what he originally retailed. It might have been $130. I can't fully remember what he originally retailed when he came out back in 2016. He's returning. Very cool. Not one I'm going to get because I don't have a usage for it this year, and I can't see myself using it in the near future either. But he is definitely... I mean, he's always a great animatronic. I've always liked this guy. He is a good one, and I'm glad to see him back. I think he's a cool one. That's really all I have to say about him, because he's just a returning thing. We already know about him. He's cool. I like him. But now we will get into the last two new ones, which I think are good. For one, we have Mutant Sewer Rat, $230. One negative about this thing, well, there's a few. I would say the biggest negative is that this thing is 4 foot 2 inches, which I get it, it's a rat, but that is really small. That is like really tiny. At least it could have been 5 feet, I think. I don't know why they made it that small, because it is a mutant rat. I mean, you could make it huge. You could make it 6 feet tall. I don't fully know, and that's something I'm a little iffy about, because like in a haunt, you would probably want to put this thing up on something in order to actually make it look imposing or creepy, because it's just going to be too low to the ground. So that is a bit of a disappointment. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. This is a lot like the Mangy Rat, I think it was called, that we got from Morris Costumes a couple of years ago. I think it was 2023. I do like this one better. I think it looks better. I think it has better audio. The face sculpt is really cool on this thing. I think it's got a great face sculpt. Great hands, feet, tail, all of that's good. My only other complaint would be that the body is... I mean, I wish it was a full sculpted body. I know it would be making a full rat with fur and everything, but come on, they can do it. They can do it. Home Depot makes full sculpted things all the time. Come on, this is what I'm talking about, Spirit. Just up your game just a little bit on these things. The little things matter. But right now it's just kind of in freaky fabric cloth. Body's not great, but I think the head sculpt and the hands and the feet and the tail, all of that really makes up for it, because it is a really cool concept. It's a really cool idea. I think it's pulled off a lot better than the original Mangy Rat, whatever it was called. I do like this one quite a bit more. Another thing, it is $230. I don't think that's good. It's got some movement. I mean, the head moves, the mouth moves. I can't remember if the body turns or not. But considering it's only 4 feet tall, I think it should be closer to the 180 range. I think 230 is definitely pushing it. But I do like the head sculpt on this one, so I can't really complain about it. It's not one I'm going to pick up, but I do like it. The last one here, which is the one that is generating the most amount of hype, is The Nun from the Conjuring movies, or from the Nun movies, or whatever. I know she's in The Conjuring 2. She's also in The Nun and The Nun 2, of course. That's her movies. Pretty big horror icon here, getting a licensed animatronic who has never had one before. I have a couple of thoughts on this one. I know this is everyone's favorite. I would say it's probably my favorite so far, too. But there's a couple thoughts I do have I want to get out of the way, and it's nothing with the animatronic itself. I think the animatronic itself is perfect. I actually think this is a very well done and very great animatronic. Here's my couple things I do want to say, and they're not complaints. They're just kind of the thoughts on the general existence of this thing, I guess. I love licensed animatronics because of the fact that I love horror. And I love horror movies, and I love having characters from horror movies that I love to display. And that word, that one word right there, I think is the most important thing for licensed animatronics, is they are display pieces. Yes, you use them to decorate your house for Halloween, of course. But also, one thing I really love about them is I usually keep up some of my horror ones in my room all year round because I have a horror-themed room, and I just like having them on display because I love horror movies. So usually when I buy a licensed animatronic, I have a different reason for buying that animatronic than other animatronics. All non-licensed animatronics I buy for haunt purposes to put in my haunt. All licensed animatronics I buy for the purposes of having to display, which is why I usually would only buy like one licensed thing a year, if there's one that I really want, because I'm just getting them for display purposes. They're not actually going in my haunt because I don't think licensed things belong in a haunt unless that haunt is based around the movie, of course. Now, as a standalone thing, this looks great, but I don't really know why licensed animatronics need jump scares because, again, going back to the whole thing of them being display pieces, I don't really care what they do at that point, because they're not going in a haunt. But I can't understand, some people may, just want to put this in their yard for Halloween and they would want it to jump out. Totally fine. I'm just giving my point of view, is that when there's a licensed character, I care more about how it looks than what it does, which is the reverse of when there's a haunt prop. I care both about what it looks like and what it does. Regardless, I'm also not a huge fan of the Conjuring movies. I'm really not. I'm a huge horror fan. The Conjuring movies, they're give or take for me. The first one's fine, I guess. It's not a character I care that much about, so I wouldn't be buying it regardless. So maybe my opinion on it doesn't even matter, because I just don't care about the nun that much. I think she's a cool looking character. Not a horror franchise I'm that big on, so I probably wouldn't buy it. But I will say, for people who love the nun, this is probably a must-have. And there was something else I will say. This is $300. I think that's a fair price, because now that we've got all of my caveats out of the way, let's get into talking about the thing itself. $300 for what this thing does, I think, is very fair. It has a very similar jump out animation to Emmeline, which I think is a fantastic animatronic. It's got the thing where she's praying and then she moves her hands out like this. That is so sick. And she's more compact than Emmeline. She doesn't jump out as far, which I think is honestly a good thing because she can fit in tighter spaces. Again, I don't fully know why you need a jump scare animatronic of a licensed character, because this would not be going in a haunt, in my opinion. But despite all of this that I said, I might purchase this thing. I know, you're probably like, what? Didn't you just talk about for the past minutes that you didn't want to buy it? Here's the deal. If you know my haunt this year, which I will have more videos coming out on that soon, because actually setup starts next week. Wow. Fearville setup starts next week. But if you know my haunt for Fearville this year, Eden's Grove, it is a demonic theme. This is a demonic nun. I know what I just said about not using licensed characters in haunts, and I wouldn't. What I would do is I would buy this thing and I would modify it so that it is just a scary nun and not the nun. Let me know if you guys think that's a good idea. I'm thinking about it. Originally, I was thinking just black out the eyes, change the face a little bit, make it look different. But honestly, what might even be the better option, and ultimately, especially for the purposes of keeping this thing in its condition as is, what might be a better option is to just take off the head and put on a different head, or put a mask over the head. I actually had a thought. What if I got a goat head and put it on the head, so it's a demon goat nun? Then it looks nothing like the nun. It's not even remotely similar, and no one going through the haunt is going to think that it's the nun. I honestly think I'm going to do that, because it's just such a great jump scare. $300 I think is pretty fair for what it is. I mean, the jump scare is just, it's fantastic. It just works very well for a haunt. And the whole nun thing works very well for the haunt. I mean, I would keep everything else exactly the same. The robe, all of that would stay exactly the same. I would just be changing the head because that's really the only thing that would be the giveaway. And so it is very likely that I'll do that, and it's very likely that I'll purchase this thing. I will just heavily modify it so that it doesn't look like it does. But as a standalone animatronic, I think as it is, it's pretty great. It's just not something I would get if I wasn't modifying it. But dang, bro, there's just I need more demonic things for this year's haunt. And this one has a great jump scare. I think once I modify it and everything, it will work well in my haunt, especially considering I do have a commercial haunt, a pro haunt. I want to get things that are more pro-like for the haunt. And though this isn't a professional animatronic, it does have a professional level animation, which I think is ultimately what matters. So I definitely think I might actually get this thing. I know it's so shocking after I just said all of that about how I didn't want it. I think I might cop it. We'll see what happens, though. Let me know what you think. But hey, like I just said, and I do want to do a little shameless self-plug here, Fearville setup is starting next week. It's starting way earlier this year than ever before. And I'm very, very excited. That means the return of the haunt vlogs. Also, I hope to do a haunt cast, one of the Fearville podcasts, here within the next few days to kick off the 2025 season. I am very, very excited for Fearville this year. If you live in the Pinellas County, Clearwater, Largo, St. Pete, Tampa, whatever you want to call it, area of Florida, you can head to the link in the description to buy your tickets now. There are currently sales running for promo codes that you can use to get money off on your tickets. It's going to be a great season. We've got the hayride coming back. We've got a non-spooky trail, or the spooky trail, but a non-scary spooky trail for the younger people. And then there is obviously Eden's Grove, the haunt for this year at Fearville, which I am so stoked about. I'm so excited. So stay tuned because stuff is going to be coming for Fearville 2025 very soon. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about this lineup in the comments. I'm eager to see more, that is for sure. Remember that here lies Halloween.